All right. Did you listen to the last After the Final Four by any chance?
No, I was there.
This week we sip on 2 collaboration beers from Goose Island and Phase 3. This is episode 87 of The Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beats. This the Malting Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Malting Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Goldie, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
and it's just us flying solo. 2 dudes, 2 birds, 2 geese.
Whoa.
Yeah, right?
Foreshadowing.
Yeah,
much?
foreshadowing. It's like a bird and a goose got together and decided to do a podcast. What is this lame intro? Welcome, everybody, to another week of the Malting Hour. We're drinking something fun today. Something that I'm almost positive everybody, as far as the Malting Hour, I don't know if Dan got one. I didn't ask him. But I know, there was fridge turn off. I like it. I know Clark got one of these, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, there's also a Phase 3 version.
Yes.
None of us got that.
No.
We're done.
I did sign up for the lottery.
Did you?
I did not.
I missed it. I should have thought. I knew about this because you and I talked about it. Sorry, everybody knows this is another Phase 3 Brewing and Goose Island Brewing collaboration. This one's called Wooden Wings, and we'll give you all the information about it in a second. But I knew about it being released, I think, because I read about it, and then you sent me a screenshot on Anzer.
I think so. Yeah.
Saying like,
Yep.
hey, this is going to be released. And I was like, ooh, I should get this. And you're like, you should get it. And then I asked you if you could be my proxy, which is a big deal. Like, you know, for someone to ask somebody to be their proxy.
Hey, can you get my beer? Make sure you give it to me.
Unlike the fucking, was it the 2-year wheat wine, barley wine beer that I took forever to get from you?
Yeah, you know what? So just kind of going back to the whole point of this, the beer and the Osner thing. Mm-hmm. So Phase 3 released their Osner like lottery thing first. And I signed up for that. And then I saw Goose release.
How do you pronounce it? Osner? Yeah, I said Anzer. Osner.
Yeah. So then Goose released, you know, they didn't even do like a lottery. It was just, they released it on Osner and it's like, all right, get it. So I bought it and then I realized, I had signed up for the Phase 3 thing too, and I didn't get it, and then I was happy. I'm like, oh, good, I'm glad I didn't get it. And then I found out they were 2 separate beers, and then I was pissed that I didn't get the Oscar thing.
And I forgot that why wouldn't it be 2 separate beers?
Yeah.
The last one, if I'm a bird, you're a bird.
Correct.
Which we did I'm a Bird last year, and that ended up in my Maltese.
That was a good beer.
Yeah, that was really good. I don't know why I wouldn't have thought, especially like with the microphone collaboration, they did one release as well, so with 2 different beers. So I don't know why I didn't think, I should look for the Phase 3. But anyways, so that's what we're drinking tonight. Pretty excited about it. You got one, I got one, Clark got one, maybe Dan got one, not sure. But we decided this is a good week to drink this. Mainly because here in Chicago, it's like barrel-aged beer season is actually starting now.
Thanks, Rev.
Yeah, my wallet, thanks you. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Revolution Brewing, we've talked about them millions of times, and their barrel-aged project, their barrel project. Their Deepwood series started early this year, and it started today when we're recording, July 19th. Is the pre-sale. It's coming out July 22nd. So by the time you guys are hearing this, hopefully you got some. But they decided to start it in the summer of this year. So they've added 3 beers this year to the. I mean, there's always different beers. I'm saying this completely wrong. I'm a moron. I haven't even. All I had was half of a El Jefe Loco before we started, and I feel like I'm already going off the rails. But so that's normally. Fall and winter is the start of, barrel-aged stouts here in Chicago. October, we see Rev start with their Deepwood series and follow with November with Goose Island's Bourbon County being released, and then Rev released a whole bunch. I mean, and everybody else is releasing things as well. I'm narrowing it down just to those 2 big ones. Half Acre has theirs. the Benthic. But is Benthic at the end of the year? Is that like into the spring?
I feel like that's towards the end of the year, but I could be completely wrong.
I mean, but there's so many. I mean, like barrel aged beers. I mean, from a bunch of breweries come out around the end. Colder months. It makes sense. So it's really exciting time now here in Chicago. I can't wait to get these beers from Rev. There was Thundertaker, which I should have had all this ready. I mean, I purchased them today. It was my first time. Speaking about that, so it was my first time actually purchasing these beers. Normally, Clark and I would split these, and I decided this year, with this first release, I wanted to buy these and have them for myself. To be honest, I mean, actually, Brandon, I'm going to give you a Thundertaker, but I just wanted to have some to keep in the fridge because you guys, as we've talked about numerous times, have quite the collection of beers, and why not add one more person to have quite the collection of beers? I love the Deepwood series, so I wanted to have some of that. So Thundertaker is an Imperial Rye Stout aged in bourbon barrels, and that's a collaboration with Binny's. The other one that they are releasing is Death by Coconut, which they used, Coconut Death. Yeah. Death by Coconut is Oscar Blues.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that sounds familiar, but not Rev familiar.
That's not right. And yeah, apparently they use like copious amounts of like toasted coconut. And then, what was the other one?
Nobody knows.
Oh yeah, it's Lumberstruck.
Oh yeah. Is that the barley one?
Yeah, and that one is...
Did you get that one?
I did. That'll end up on an After the Final Four, for sure. That one sounds the most interesting to me. The Coconut Death also sounds good. It's one of their variants of Death by or Death of. So Lumberstruck is a black barley wine ale aged in wine barrels. Okay. So that alone, we're not going to get into like the full description of these. We'll talk about it when we drink them. So those are the three that went for pre-sale today. It was kind of a weird pre-sale. Revolution switched to a different site or different service to get pre-sales of their beer, and there was a little hiccup this morning at 9 o'clock. People who got stuff into their cart weren't able to check out and be able to pick up. And so for 45 minutes, everybody was refreshing. Some people said they got through. Some people's carts got empty. Mine. And some people were just stuck. Then it was announced they were going to do it again at 5 o'clock today. And so they did. So they did it at 5 o'clock. Boom. Took off. I lucked out. I got all three. Brandon, you ended up with Coconut. Didn't want the Lumberstruck, right?
Didn't want that. It was that and Thundertaker that I was trying for. But then I saw that Rev did post that Binny's is going to be getting Thundertaker on Friday, so I'm not as worried.
Sure.
About.
And I'm giving you a can.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were kind of up in arms about it on the interwebs today. And I just want to remind everybody it's just beer. Relax. It's okay. If you live in Chicago, there's a ton of places like Revolution that are going to have it on tap this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this past weekend. Even at time of this release of this episode, there's a good chance all three of those are still on tap. So also there's bottles and cans, beer on the wall. There's places that sell single cans. The bottles and cans, or the beer on the wall in Park Ridge still has, from last year's Deepwood series, Maple Death, Vanilla Death, and Cafe Death.
Oh.
I bought a Cafe Death last week and drank it. It was fantastic.
I ran through Binny's today just because,
Did you sprint? You just run through? Like,
well, it's funny because I'm usually going in there saying like, I wonder if they put any good bourbon out. And that's usually, it's my first stop before I go to the gym. Makes sense. Totally. But I need to go over there. I believe they have Maple Death and Vanilla Death.
They do.
Packs,
yeah. So there are variants that are still available, and it's just I don't know. It kind of sucked to see people
hurt
shit all over. Yeah, butt hurt, and then shit all over Rev for it. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe it wasn't the greatest launch, but it wasn't anything that they did on purpose. Like, it just, I don't know. It just seemed very silly to be upset about. But anyways, so I just want to say that mainly because you got this on Osner. We got this on Osner.
Correct.
Which is another site, if you guys don't know about special releases and stuff. And it was easy. It was easy to go through. Got it. Boom. Proxies allowed for it for this release.
I'm slightly curious why because a lot of the breweries in Chicago are doing it. Like, I'm surprised Rev hasn't done Osner. You know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It probably has to do with money.
Sure.
I don't know what Osner takes for their services, or if it's like a per purchase thing, or if it's like just a flat rate for like a release. But I mean, there's enough places that are doing it that it's a tried and true format so far. That I feel like it wouldn't have been a bad idea for them to give that a go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'll have to talk to somebody from Rev and find out why. But anyways, let's talk about this beer. Wooden Wings. This is the Goose Island version. Right off the bat, the aroma is familiar to me. You know why it's familiar? Reminds me of Bourbon County. And that's not I don't want to generalize it. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
That's not just like, oh, Goose Island did a barrel-aged stout, it's going to be Bourbon County. It smells a lot like Bourbon County, but there's more barrel. Does that make sense?
It's hard to have Goose, even if they're collabing, put out a barrel-aged stout, like just a straight-up barrel-aged stout, no adjuncts or whatever, and not have it be reminiscent of Bourbon County, because it's their method, like,
And this is... It's like dark chocolate, some caramel, but a good barrel flavor. Like,
yeah, I'm with you on that, and I'm really enjoying the way the barrel's coming through in this one.
yeah, and
It's not hot.
no, and this isn't, and this it's not ice cold. It's chilled.
I'm talking about like there's
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess that was the wrong time to say that. Go ahead. Yes.
There's no heat coming. I'm not getting that like burn. Maybe
Nothing.
as it warms up a little bit more, but even then, I think this is a really good temperature for this beer.
It's almost. This one smells a little fruity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm getting like that, like, I don't know, like a dark currant or...
Like a berry, like a dark berry
Yep.
and chocolate type deal. And it does my favorite thing. I'm swirling it around in my glass, and there's just a very small amount of dark head on it, and it coats the glass. It is like that black, brown... goo. Not goo. It's not goo. It's not gooey. But I love that. I love that in a stout. Like a stout that coats the glass like that, where there's not like, floaters on it, where it's like, oh, there's sediment or anything. That's one of my favorite things. You cannot, light does not penetrate this beer at all.
No,
So
it's super dark.
I'm going to read the description of this beer. Here we go. This is from Goose Island. Last year, we teamed up with Phase 3 Brewing to bring you If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird. We took the base non-adjuncted stout from those beers and let them rest in Willett bourbon barrels for 18 months. The result is Wooden Wings, a gorgeous, rich, full-bodied stout. Expect a massive oak presence and dark chocolate and some slight caramel. Boom, look at that. So I only knew that this was a bourbon barrel-aged stout. I didn't know anything else about it until just now, looking it up. I think that's a really good description of it. I didn't know it was their beers that they took non-adjunct and then added to Willett barrels for 18 months. That's awesome. And I think it goes to say a lot about the beers that they made. Now I really wish we had the Phase 3 Wooden Wings to try. Only because, well, we haven't tried the I'm a Bird. Or If I'm a Bird. Yeah. I forget which one it is. If I'm a Bird.
Yes.
We did not try that one from Phase 3.
We did not.
Which we might. But yeah, so I wouldn't even know what that was. But this is really tasty, man.
Yeah, these collabs that they've been doing have been pretty awesome. Like I'm a Bird, You're a Bird. And the side A and side B.
Yeah, the double LP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the consistent quality that comes out of Goose, just always continues to amaze me.
I want to see, I don't know if it'll ever happen, a Revolution Goose Island barrel.
How is that not
barrel age? Like, does the world end in Chicago? Like, does Chicago just collapse in on itself? Like the two like big barrel aged giants of Chicago come together on a barrel aged beer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they haven't. And maybe they have. We just don't know about it. Who knows?
Google it, Clark. Look it up.
Clark, where are you?
His table though is covered with a bunch of boxes. So I don't think he's coming in today. We both took us in at the same time.
That was the one. That was the one. That was the one upside. I was like, well, I don't have to clear the table off. I guess so.
Thanks, Clark. No cleaning. The more I'm drinking this, the more there's like there's even like a coffee note to it. Dark chocolate. I'm finding that I like stouts that have that dark chocolate, almost like baker's chocolate flavor to it. You know, it's kind of the undertones of it. And I don't know how, if I was a better home brewer, I would know. But that's what I want in a stout when I make a stout. And I feel like you and I got that in Into the Void, which one day we'll brew again, whenever we decide to brew again. But that's what I'm liking about this beer. It's not super sweet. There's nice sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet. And the beer, I really like to have this not barrel aged too, to see what that's like. Just a sweet stout, non-adjuncted.
I'm trying to think, and I know I've asked this before, and I think they don't brew it anymore. But there was the base beer for Bourbon County.
We have talked about that.
Was it Big John or Night Stalker? I can never remember.
I thought it was Big John.
Maybe it was, but I remember
Night Stalker
having
was
that,
good too.
And like that was a solid beer on its own, and it just made perfect sense that would go into a barrel. I wish they still did that.
Yeah.
Goose, if you're listening, you guys want to...
Goose, please do that. We need to get on top of that ASAP.
Little Big John.
Yeah, man. I'm not at a loss for words, but I kind of am at a loss for words for this beer. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm not surprised about what we're getting from this beer.
What I do enjoy about it, too, amongst the other things we've kind of raved about, it's not overly thick. You know, it's
right.
And it's by no means thin, but the mouthfeel I just feel like is perfect enough to kind of get you that coating in the mouth, but not leaving you feel like you're chewing on some fudge, you know?
Which sometimes I do like, but there's
exactly, yeah.
This also, to me, it's got the perfect carbonation. It is that like very light, bubbly, almost if you left a soda out too long, and all of a sudden you get just those little bubbles, and it's done. Also known as champagne bubbles, but
I'd still drink it.
Yeah, I do too, and I do.
I put open cans of Coke.
It's like
put them in the fridge, save it for later.
Hey, if you fall asleep with a soft drink, and a fountain drink, say it's midnight, okay, and you happen to have
a 2-liter in your lap.
No, I didn't mean that, but sure, you can do that. Say it's midnight, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm going to drive to my local Taco Bell." You don't really want something to drink from that Taco Bell. You just want some tacos. But you get the drink because you got the cravings box. This is totally hypothetical. So you get home, you eat your Doritos Loco taco. You eat your cheddar fucking chalupa thing. You eat half of their burrito that comes with it.
It's very specific.
Plus, you also ate the nacho chips, okay? You get to the drink, your cherry Pepsi, take a couple sips, boom. You pass out watching The Simpsons. You wake up 9 in the morning. You're like, oh, okay, great. Start your day. Come back downstairs in the basement. By the way, you fell asleep in the basement watching The Simpsons.
Okay.
You didn't go up to bed.
Noted.
It's all hypothetical. You come back downstairs around 11 o'clock, which is almost 12 hours from when you had it. And you see the cherry Pepsi there, and you're like, I'm going to get rid of this. But you take one more sip, and you realize, this is still good. Drink about half of it, then throw it away. That's it. That's kind of like the carbonation that I'm getting from this. Very small bubbles, very light, not too intense. Not
so what
like
you're saying is they carbonated it and then left it out for a couple hours, and then they just like, let's throw it in a bottle.
Maybe, man. Maybe.
And when it comes to stouts, that's what I want.
Yeah. This is the type of carbonation I want from a stout, especially a barrel aged stout. Too much carbonation takes away from everything else. I like carbonated. I like, good carbonation in pale ales or IPAs. Kind of opens up the hops.
Yeah, I was going to say
Worlds.
that completely lends to the flavor and the mouthfeel and all that good stuff. And it's too much would take away from the actual beer.
Absolutely.
And I know, I can't remember offhand, but I do know that there's probably been some point where I've had a barrel-aged beer that was, had way too much carb on it. And it was just, not that it was terrible, but...
Not as enjoyable.
Yeah,
I've had some barrel-aged beers that were flat because someone saved me a sip from their bottle. They text me on Friday night saying, hey, I'm cracking this open. And I was like, thanks, but I can't make it.
Sounds like Clark.
And they said, I'll save you a little pour when you come by to pick up the Rev beers we split. I said, okay.
Definitely Clark.
I drove to his house, their house. I drove to their house and stopped by, and we were talking for a little bit. He goes, hey, or they were like, hey, you want this? And it was like a little nice pour of the double toasted barrel from 2021.
You want my backwash?
Thanks, Clark. It was. That was the first time I tried it, and I was like, oh, shit, for being like overnight, and he kept it out, and I think he kept it out. Maybe he put it in the fridge. I don't know. It was still very good, but it was flat.
Yeah.
Still very good. I got everything out of it that I wanted. So
Yeah, I mean, I've done that a couple of times. I've even used our wine thing to pump out the air and kind of put it back in the fridge. And I with barrel aged beers, I never have a problem with that just being weird or tasting off.
Here's another story. In 2020, after my birthday, my 23rd birthday. How old was I in 2020? It's 2022, and it's my 38th birthday. Oof. I just could have subtracted.
Math.
There were a lot of beers at that birthday. You would have thought it was my 40th birthday with how many people brought so many different beers. There was 2 Dark Lords that were open. There was a bunch of shit. Ron had brought all those different toasted barrels from the brewery, the different chars. When in the morning, which I'm going to give a shout out to Ron for putting me on the water game that night. I woke up feeling A-okay. I was sluggish, but did not feel like shit. Didn't feel like I wanted to sleep all day. Didn't feel like crap. It was awesome. So I went back down to the basement. I'm like, I gotta clean this up. And there were two of the Dark Lord bottles were still had beer in them. Like quarter to half pours. So I did just take them and pour them into a glass.
Ooh, nice.
Swirl around, took a sip, and I was like, okay, not bad. I took one more sip. I'm like, I'm not doing any more of this. This is fine. I tried it. I just didn't want to waste it all. Yeah, that was another time that I've had overnight beer.
I mean, there's been times we've done this podcast, and I come back down the next morning, and there's beers that are or even that night, I'll look and I'll say, all right, I'll take them and I'll pop them in the fridge.
Yeah, I've seen. There's been other times where we've done an episode and I've come by the next day and you still have it.
Yeah,
and I saved it. I'm like, nice. As this has warmed up, I'm getting more caramel and more oak. I've been swirling it around, putting it in my hand and everything. By the way, you got the cool glass. You got the actual Wooden Wings glass.
Yeah, you know what?
Nice.
I never care about glasses, but for some reason I saw it. I'm like, it looks kind of cool.
It's kind of like my Jessup Farm wine-looking glass. So I would have liked.
Was it the one that you broke?
No, I got a replacement and that one.
Okay,
So Jessup Farm, we'll do something with you soon. Bo, you can come on the show. We'll do Zoom. We just need beer.
Bo knows beer. I just realized this is fucking faded.
What? The glasses?
Yeah, it says Goose Island, and the bottom where it says Barrel House is rubbing off already.
Oh.
And I literally, this was my first time touching it since buying it.
Goose.
I put it up there.
I know, and I saw that glass the week after you got these bottles because I saw, oh shit, you got the glass. The last time Clark was here. And we talked to Serge Bonge. I don't know how to... I can't wait. We should call him tonight, maybe. No, we'll call him another time. Yeah, that's a bummer. You should probably reach out to Goose and say, hey, just so you know, this is what happened.
WTF, mate.
Ooh, man. Overall, if we're going to do the rating system like we sometimes do, if I'm rating this out of 5, boy, I mean, it's just a really perfect fucking barrel-aged beer, man. I'm going 4.8 on it. Like, not that I'm like losing my mind over it, but it's really tasty. I would never say no to this beer. Ever.
Oh God,
ever. It's up there with the other bourbon counties that we've had. Anything, just a really good barrel aged beer. I'm going 4.8. Why not a complete 5? I don't know. Yeah, that's what rating systems are all about. It's all subjective. Get over it.
Good, because I give this a 2. There's room for improvement. No, I'm kind of in the same place. I was actually thinking 4.75.
Yeah.
And ironically, you kind of made the point, like you talked about, like all the other Bourbon County beers. This, if this came out as part of the lineup, I would have been okay with that.
Absolutely. Would not be upset about it at all.
I'd have been like, this is a great addition to that.
I kind of hope, and if that's something they end up doing, like Goose in Phase 3 decide like, oh, hey, that was really good. We should probably do this again. Like, just as is. And one-offs are fun and everything, but come on. The kids. They want more. Think of the kids. Think of the kids who want more of this bourbon barrel-aged goodness. It's really good. I like it. I'm glad I got to share it with you, man. You share so many of awesome beers with me, and I was happy that you told me to buy this beer. Not to share with you, but I figured, well, you know, why not? Let's
Wouldn't the kicker be if I actually only just bought the glass and didn't buy the bottle? And
yeah, I don't see it up on your What the heck? Oh my god!
No, I did buy that.
I know
it's somewhere around here.
I can't wait to drink it with you.
I was like, that's probably gonna happen. So
probably. All right, let's finish this up and let's take a quick break. We'll see what the hell else we're gonna drink on this episode of Delicious Beer. Fuck, we'll be right back.
Taking away the moments to make up a day. Fritter waste the hours and then I'll pen away. Kicking around on a piece of ground in your hotel. Waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. You are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. And then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. Desperation is the English way. The time has come, the song is over, but I
And we're back!
Oh yeah, that was a great break. Boy, that was a good first beer. That was a good collaboration between Goose Island and Phase 3. You know, it'd be awesome if we did a Phase 3 Goose Island collaboration beer right now, which is what we're doing. What we're going to drink now is...
Whoa.
The If You're a Bird from 2021?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, last year, 2021, If You're a Bird. We had I'm a Bird, me, you, and Clark. And we did that one remotely.
No, we did it here.
No, we did it remotely.
Did we all have one?
We did.
Oh, okay.
I think...
Oh, we did, because you guys only had...
I split with somebody. Somebody
Clark.
got me... Yeah, Clark got me a can, I think. I think you got me a can.
It's whatever.
It doesn't matter. Somebody got me a can, and the three of us sat there and drank it via Zoom. So it's nice to drink these with you together. But yeah, so we did I'm a Bird, which we loved. And that one, I should have looked that one up because I already pulled up the... Oh, excuse me. I ate a piece of really hot jerky that Brandon made. One day we'll do a whole jerky episode. As you guys know, Brandon is a jerky creator. And this one, what was it? Trinidad scorpion pepper?
Yep.
Very good. Nice thick piece
With
of...
also ghost pepper and habaneros and jalapenos.
Really?
Yeah, I put it all.
My face is warm. My mouth is not hot anymore.
Yeah.
That was probably the best amount of heat in jerky you've ever made.
Good.
One of the best jerkies you've made. I'm not just saying that because we're on the podcast right now. Like, I love all the jerky you give me, and I eat it all until my jaws and my temples are sore from chewing it. Anyway, so we did I'm a Bird last year, which is an imperial stout with cocoa nibs, vanilla sugar, and strawberry flavored. So it says luscious and rich body with a huge strawberry aroma and milk chocolate flavor, kind of like a chocolate covered strawberry. Our version of the Phase 3 brewing collaboration. If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
We had that April 17th.
And we loved it. We raved about it, and we ended up, I'm pretty sure it made it on all of our lists. Maybe not top beers. I think it ended up on one of my top beers. But I think you guys maybe threw it in your honorable mentions. I could be wrong about that. Not really sure. I don't have the Maltese committed to memory because that was so long ago. But this one is the Phase 3 version, which is also in collaboration, obviously, with Goose Island. And this one is a simple, straightforward description. Here we go. It is an imperial stout brewed with panela and cocoa nibs and coconut added. Which, Brandon, you had said something off mic about the aroma. So now it's going to be interested to see what this tastes like. Because you had said it kind of smelled like dark cherries or a cherry, like a chocolate-covered cherry. Also, this is 12.5% ABV. Here we go. It does smell like fruit. It really does. It does not taste like fruit.
No.
At all. You already took a sip.
Oh, yeah. I'm like 3 under.
Holy cow. I feel like this is leaning more on the chocolate side.
Yep.
This is a chocolate stout to me. Like, it's still like that baker's chocolate type thing, but even better. It's like a sweeter baker's chocolate.
No, I feel like I'm getting both dark baker's chocolate and a subtle, almost milky chocolate.
Like a semi-sweet or milk chocolate. Yeah. This is more of a semi-sweet chocolate to me. Nice mix of the two. Coconut might have fallen off. We might have lost it. Maybe it's there.
Maybe
it's hard
needs
for
to
me
warm up a little more. I don't know.
But coconut.
I'm getting it a little bit. It's funny. So I don't taste it when I'm sipping it, but as I'm sitting here talking and just my tongue is moving, I'm getting coconut in the back of my mouth.
Maybe a little bit. I can feel that.
Not overwhelming, but
it's
there.
There's a hint. I wonder if it was maybe a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I would assume.
When it first came out. I'm trying to see if anybody else
was where's the coconut?
Checked it in. Someone, June 22nd, 22, fallen off a little bit. So maybe the coconut. Let's see if I can go back further. My face, by the way, is very warm. I don't know if
combination
is my face red right now?
No,
because it feels like it's hot. From
is it warm? Not so much here, But here. But right here.
I believe that's from the jerky, and then now adding the booze on top of it. So I'm gonna look it up and see what anybody said about this.
Yeah, and it was not our intention to necessarily keep this for an entire year.
No.
It has been in the fridge for that entire time.
As I've called it in the last episode, the studio fridge.
Yeah.
Which, that's what it is now, man. Sorry.
Damn it, I gotta get a fingerprint lock on that door now.
Yeah. Which I went into, by the way, when I didn't want to get the LFA Loco. I was like, what's in the beer fridge? Because that's just kind of the beer fridge. And I was like, nah. Someone has had, Ron has had this. Let's see. Let's do all. Let's check out all. Because I want to see what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
Maybe when it was like super fresh, people were getting coconut off of it. A lot of people have been drinking it lately. Holy cow. Like this person said on November 25th, better fresh, still solid though. And this person, on November 14th, said just an excellent showcase of coconut flavor. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, maybe the coconut kind of fell off. This person says thick, creamy, velvet body, young coconut and melted baker's chocolate on nose. Flavor is full of coconut with just a bitter chocolate and burnt sugar finish. I like that description.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good, they did our job for us.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to what we're getting. And like it kind of nailed the chocolate description pretty solidly.
It is kind of thick. It's not like the last one, the Wooden Wings. This has a thickness to it. It is very coating of my mouth. You know, I'm surprised didn't have this. Our guy on the street, Joe J. I'm always interested in looking to see what his reviews are. Of beers. So, Joe, if you've had this and you've not checked it in, let us know. If you haven't, sorry. If I had to compare this to I'm a Bird, the other one, the Goose Island one, I still think I like I'm a Bird more.
Yeah.
The strawberry is kind of what took that one, the way the strawberry was in it, kind of took that one to the next level as far as what I would enjoy.
Yeah, the everything on that one played well together. And then again, here's the disservice is we're having this over a year.
Yeah.
After, I feel like we'd have a much fairer comparison if we did. We should have done them closer together.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, just going off based on what we tasted, I think the flavors came through more on that one. Obviously,
This is still very good.
oh yeah, there's no knock at this whatsoever.
It's not a toasted coconut flavor. When I read that review in Young Coconut, that kind of makes more sense of why we're getting just that like hint, that like in the back end type of coconut. It's a very good sweet stout though. It's very nice. And 12.5%, I mean, come on.
What was Wooden Wings?
Good question. I was going to say something, but that's the 2-year wheat wine because I was looking at that recently in my fridge. I've promised that to somebody else, Brandon. I'm sorry. That one, you'll probably be there. That is 13.8%.
Okay.
So yeah,
Which is, I don't know if that's shocking to me or not. That the thicker beer is lower ABV. I guess that makes more sense.
yeah. I mean, there's more residual sweetness, so
Yeah.
not that makes any sense. I just said that to think that maybe that might make sense.
I think so.
Thanks, man.
I mean, there's more sweetness in the beer itself, so that just means less sugar was eaten during fermentation, which means you'd get less ABV.
There you go, guys.
That's a brewer's science for you.
This is also a homebrew podcast sometimes. Speaking of homebrews, I still have my Otter
Does it still need to be
kegged. I dry hopped it.
Okay.
I did dry hop it. And now it's been 4 or 5 days dry hopping.
Okay.
7 days. So I think I'm going to, either tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to keg it and we'll try it. My Apollo Maris Otter Smash IPA. So I'm pretty excited about that. If it comes out crappy, I think I figured out what the problem is.
Oh.
And we'll cross
Crappy
that
as in
bridge.
how?
Oxidized.
Did you use your mash and boil?
I did.
Okay.
I did that on purpose.
I mean, A smash beer is a good test if you're
Yeah.
looking for oxidation.
Although the smash beer did cost me still $40 for
yeah.
4 ounces of hops, yeast, and 10 pounds of maris otter.
Okay.
So that was, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see if it is. One of your cats are snoring.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, is snoring. I should say.
It comes in like every once in a while. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's amazing.
It's Shotzi.
If it's oxidized, I will. I know why, and we'll discuss it when it comes.
Gonna
to that
burn the entire system.
No, I just need to make one adjustment, one simple, stupid adjustment.
Interesting.
So we'll talk about that soon.
Now, so it just like, because for my own curiosity, is that something that's unique to the mash and boil?
Nope.
Oh,
So basically, what it is, I will just talk about it now. I don't have a hose connected to the spigot to my mash and boil. So when I'm draining the mash tun or the actual system into a bucket, it's just shooting out. Is that putting too much oxygen into the beer? Maybe.
Oh.
So it could be oxidization, too much oxygen prior to fermentation. So that could be my issue. I didn't know that was a thing. I put so much oxygen into my beer.
yeah, but sometimes I'm pretty aggressive about
Yeah.
like paddling in that.
But this is
yeast.
like super aggressive.
It's like a
to where
waterfall,
there's like a foam head on top.
Oh.
Like a big foam head on top. So if it is oxidized, that I have to imagine that's the issue. So I'll slap a hose on it.
Probably
So,
too much oxygen for the
Yeast
yeast
to
to
consume.
deal with.
which might be a thing.
Yeah.
So there's my experiment, my $40 experiment. I still have a full keg of oxidized beer that I just have not dumped.
And did you still have kegs of our stout?
Yeah, the barrel aged up. I have 1.5 kegs of it still.
Tap it for your block party.
Great idea. Speaking of which, we might have some beer provided for that, but also Laura said that my wife suggested that maybe I brew something for it, just in case, just to have something.
Okay.
She says, people really like your beer, and I said, well, people really like free beer.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. But I thought we're about a month away. Maybe you and I try and do my Sat by the Ocean on your setup.
Okay.
My lime sea salt goza. And maybe we try that.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I figured that's a crowd pleaser. That'll be a good one. It's refreshing.
Especially if it's hot that day.
Yeah. And if it's raining, my basement is clean. And we'll just have it on tap down there. And I'll have the garage all cleared out as well. Lauren, I have put together an idea of what happens if it's going to rain for my
Nice.
block party. So we can still be outside and inside USA.
Dude, so we built that shed. I'm like so super excited about how clear our garage is now. Like, and I still park my car out front just because I kind of have my motorcycle parked where my car normally goes, so I can take that in and out easily in the summer. But it's like there's so much more space now.
That's awesome.
I'm like, oh, this is great. Part of me was like, I wish we got a shed that was a little bit bigger because I would have loved to like that it would like put my brew stuff in there too. Just
yeah.
keep that all like separate, but. It's good. It's good the way that it is.
It's nice because normally we start an episode like this, but because we're together, we got straight to business and we wrap up the episode with the side talk. I like it.
Not everyone has to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know if we might start talking about different beers.
Like, oh, are they gonna crack something open? Are they gonna crack open a 2013 Bourbon County coffee?
Nobody knows. I also on Prime Day, I have outdoor speakers in the backyard.
Yes.
Those were given to us as a wedding gift, and when I had my friend that I know through our friend Pat McHugh, he does audio installations, and he put those in, and he goes, call me up when you get better speakers, and I'm like, these are Bose. What's wrong with these? He's like, no, they're good. He's like, they just don't have like the bass quality that you would probably want, and I was like, okay. So on Prime Day, just out of curiosity, was like looking at outdoor speakers, and they had some super expensive Polk Audio ones that were on sale for like $100.
Oh shit!
So I was like, okay. So what I'm going to do now is the receiver that we have actually has 2 different channels for 2 different sets of speakers.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to put the Bose in the garage, and then the Polk outside the garage. And so, like, when we brew
both, yeah,
and we do stuff in the garage, we can
have music in there.
Yeah.
And we can
not
listen.
have to run it off our phones.
We can listen to Master of Puppets.
That's right.
Have you watched the end of Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, we're done. We're
thank
through.
God. Man. I really wanted to just talk. When I saw that scene, I'm like, Brandon, I just want to text you and be like, Metallica's in Stranger Things, man.
I mean, that whole scene got blown for me, like, before we even started the second half, or the last 2 episodes or whatever.
Was my post kind of blowing that for you?
No, like, I literally saw, like, a post from, like, what's it, like?
Entertainment Tonight.
Sound something magazine or something like that. But they were talking about how Metallica like thought it was awesome that the way the scene was, and I was like, "What?" And then the only thing I could think of was like, it had to be Eddie Munson, like,
Yeah, it was pretty.
Spoiler
awesome.
alert.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything else, but yeah, if you haven't watched it
that was pretty
you gotta know
badass.
that part.
The one thing that I will say about Stranger Things is I don't know why I thought this was supposed to be the last season, but now it's not going to be the last.
I think
season.
it was talked about before they filmed that it was maybe going to be the last one, but then I heard before it was released that there's one more season. So
yeah, and they were talking about how many. I was reading an article about how long they wanted to make the episodes and how many episodes they wanted to do.
Yeah,
and they're like, maybe we'll just do 8 episodes, like an hour and a half each episode or something like that. Wild. I'm like, whatever.
The funny thing is that the last episode of the season was 2.5 hours, almost 2.5 hours long. To me, it did not feel like 2.5 hours. No. And my boss was like, "Yeah, I'm halfway through it." I'm like, "When you're halfway through it?" He goes, "Yeah, I watched the first half of it. And I'm gonna watch the rest tonight." At what point of that episode was like, "Now
this is a good stop.
Now's a good time to pause. I'm gonna go to bed." Like, whatever. But yeah, that was good, man.
What kind of sick, sadistic person does that?
My boss
must be a member of Hellfire.
He wishes.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, and just kind of going off, since we're talking about Netflix stuff.
Are we doing a Marvel thing soon, like we used to do? That's great.
There was an article that I read about. It was Jason Bateman and the woman that played his wife in Ozark, and she was saying she hasn't watched the show the last season. She said we filmed multiple different endings. She goes, I don't know what ending they chose.
Holy shit.
So she said, and her and Bateman both said, it's like, if we were presented with the option to do more seasons, 100%, we would be on board.
Laura Linney is her name.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's room.
Because it kind of leaves it open.
There's room
for something.
If you guys haven't finished Ozark, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Jeff is binging it right now. I had to talk to him today in my yard about something, and he said I interrupted him. He's on season 4, episode 8, and he told me what was happening. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry." Like, you literally just saw like a breaking, like a big part of it. Speaking of breaking, this is our TV show recap. Tonight, by the time you guys listen to this, episode 11 of
Breaking Bad?
No, of Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, yeah.
You watched it? This last one?
Up.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but Laura's not watching it. She stopped watching it because she got sad because of Jimmy's brother, like how much he was like going through. And I was like, yeah, but you weren't sad about the meth making.
Yeah, right.
Whatever, fine. But she's going to watch it. But this last episode, I came upstairs and I was like, holy shit, it's so good. Like, so much just changed.
Yeah.
For Better Call Saul.
Yep.
It's just as good, if not, maybe a teeny tiny. You can't put it on the same thing, but I almost feel like I kind of like it more than Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's fantastic, phenomenal, great show.
You know what?
Better Call Saul.
I'm incorrect. We didn't watch last night's episode.
So good, really good.
We'll have that done by this week.
Cool. I'm gonna let everybody know. So you close your ears. So at that part where I couldn't even come up with something on the spot.
But even like the first episode coming back was pretty intense. So I can only imagine that
it's good. You're gonna like it.
And I do. And if you're not watching the show, sorry. I mean, it's not going to ruin anything for you. I do like how the this season has, and even last season too, has kind of deepened the connection with Breaking Bad. So you can start to see all of these connections and like how things came to be.
Yeah. This last episode, for everybody that knows what I'm saying, on July 18th is when it came out. It was really good. This is we're getting to Breaking Bad real soon. So
Real nice.
these beers were awesome. Very tasty. I'm glad we got a little TV movie recap in there as well. It's been a while since we did one of those.
I think the first time we did it was like right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then remember we sat. It's a very long Marvel thing, and I ended something with us talking about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, fucking Spider-Man.
If anybody can email us and tell us about that, I would appreciate it. It's info@themaltinghour.com. What did we say at the end of that episode? We'll send you
Something.
a magnet.
Sure.
We got magnets now, which I'm taking home this week.
You know what? I saw them open. I was like, did he even take them?
No, I threw in my bag right away. The other pack's and the rest of it's right there.
I couldn't. So I don't know if I was on a plane. Maybe I was on a plane. That's the only thing I can think of when I went somewhere recently. When I had to go to DC, they had one of the Spider-Man movies on the plane.
The newest one?
It was Tom Holland, and I can't remember.
No way.
I've never seen. I don't think so. I've never seen any of the ones with Tom Holland.
What?
I may have seen one of the ones with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I saw all the ones with the only person that should be Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Okay. Maybe that's what the conversation was.
No, that's a complete farcical thing. I did enjoy like the part that I saw with Tom Holland. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
You haven't seen any of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies?
No.
Have you seen all of the Marvel movies?
No.
I don't even know you.
No.
I'm caught up to the movie. I just have one. I need to watch Miss Marvel right now, and then I'm all caught up on everything Marvel. I'm a big Marvel dork.
My Spidey universe is Spidey and his amazing friends because that's what Benjamin likes to watch.
Well, now I know what to throw.
And it's really hard for me to not put on the others. Like, so I'll go to. I have a Vudu account that my sister-in-law gave me access to, and it's like whenever she would buy DVDs.
You mean you have your own Vudu account that you have access
to?
No.
So you can add your family to it.
I know.
And then
I'm part of Vito's family.
And it shares across. So anyways, all these movies like I'd have access to, and it's like the other day I was looking for Shrek for Benjamin. And he's like, oh, I want to see that Spider-Man. He looks scary. And I'm like, no, we can't watch that one. I was like, if your mom wasn't here, maybe you would.
Which Spider-Man was it?
I think it was Far From Home or something like that. It was one of the Tom Holland ones. And then it had, I think she has the Tobey Maguire ones, which I have the Tobey Maguire DVDs.
I mean, those are, the first two are good.
Yeah.
I did not like the third one. I did the
third one was really dark.
Yeah, and it was like
and he like dyed his hair black or whatever.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Spider-Man. Is it Far From Home first? Far From No Way Home. No, that was the last one. Silence. Far From Home is the second one. So Spider-Man Homecoming was the first one.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Homecoming or Far From Home that I saw.
You should see all three of them. They're fun. You should just watch all the Marvel movies, man. They're pretty much, they're almost, all but Thor are on, the latest Thor are on Disney Plus. You can watch every single Marvel movie.
Really?
You might not, the Spider-Man ones are not. I think one or two of them are because of Sony.
Yeah. All of them, I think, aren't because of Sony. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man.
But they do have a deal with them, which I think one or two of them are on Disney Plus now. That last sip I just took of that was kind of thick, and I don't know if there was chunks in it or not, but the way it rolled over my tongue was not cool.
Not bad. That's the bird shit in the beer.
Oh, that's right, because of the birds. There's bird shit in the beer. Duh. I can't believe I...
How did you blow that one, dude?
Okay, I guess there aren't any other Spider-Man movies on. I thought they were adding them, but no. You're right. But you can watch the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s on there, which is fun.
Yeah.
You guys should do that.
We have done that, actually.
But
then he's like, I want Spidey. I'm like, all right. Spidey and his amazing friends, it is.
I almost watched all of the X-Men, so
Ooh.
I've not done that. You know what? We're getting way off track here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to this week. We both beers were really good, man. It was fun to do both the Goose Island Phase 3 collaborations.
Yeah, that was actually you thought of that, so I'm glad you thought of that. And
I'm glad you remembered you had one because I didn't know if you did. I'm glad you realized that.
I remember seeing it just the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I have that.
I do have some floaters. Look there. There's some type of sediment in there. So that's probably some coconut fat. So that's okay. But yeah, you did pull out a Bourbon County coffee. Was it 2013?
I didn't. You and Clark pulled that out last time.
We did. It's been sitting here since then.
Yeah, I haven't moved it.
Shit, we could have drank that. Dang. We'll wait for Clark next time.
Sure.
But yeah, Goose Phase 3. Keep doing it, baby. Delicious stuff. Brandon, you got anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks for the good beer, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.